Welcome to CamelbackTrading.org. This is the review of April 22nd, 2026. Using our proprietary Camelback TradingView market profile, let's review today's price action and look at what is ahead for tomorrow. It was a very interesting and difficult day. At the beginning of the session, the bulls were pushing higher, with both indices taking the IB high. NQ was busy making new all-time highs, while ES moved closer to the daily balance high. Then, the script flipped. Both ended up breaking the lows of the day and liquidating longs aggressively, fueled by headlines regarding Iranian negotiation troubles. The overnight inventory was short, but both ES and NQ opened inside yesterday's value. This offered poor risk-reward, and as expected, we saw plenty of chop at the open. But both indices eventually pushed up. NQ captured its maintenance all-time high from yesterday, and ES got close enough to the daily balance high to trigger the first rule of balance. Get close to the edge and get rejected. At that point, the scores were 5-1 in favor of the bulls. The high of G period got very close to today's high in NQ. While we won't technically label it an afternoon rally high, it is the last high before the rollover, so we will monitor that level closely. In ES, G period is officially today's afternoon rally high. H period is where the liquidation hit. We have to keep two things in mind. First, the market was simply too long, and second, ES had reached the balance high. More often than not, we see a defense of those balance edges. The liquidation intensified in I period, taking NQ below yesterday's low and putting the daily into a balance. It even reached the lower edge of Tuesday's value area. ES traded down to the daily balance low, stretching it by about 6 points. After the bounce, both indices filled the single prints created by the liquidation and rotated from K through M period. NQ ended with an MGI score of 3-3, while ES finished 4-2 in favor of the bears. Value ended unchanged for both. ES carries over that afternoon rally high in G. Both indices ended with 7 wide POCs, which need to be monitored. Notice that both indices escaped the initial rotation they were trading before the liquidation, but the POC never followed, which failed to confirm a move. Because of that late-day liquidation, we saw decent, above-average volume. ES at 117% and NQ at 120% of the 20-day average. Range was also expanded, with ES at 133% and NQ at 128% of their averages. Currently, both NQ and ES are in balance on the daily. Tomorrow, the bulls have a difficult task ahead. Today's value is at the higher end of the daily balance. If they want to reclaim dominance and take the balance high, they will likely have to initiate inside today's value. And fighting for value is always a struggle. Opening inside a previous day's value is a recipe for choppy price action, and ending today with value unchanged calls for caution. The bears need to do the opposite. Trade below today's value and attack the daily balance low. However, to do serious structural damage, they would need to take out the previous week's low to put the weekly into a balance, and that's a long way down. Keep in mind the weekly trend is still up, and the monthly is a developing balance with no established high to defend yet. My advice for tomorrow? When price opens inside the previous day's range and value, wait for the MGI to define itself. You might miss the first few points in your P&L, but you'll save yourself from the chop. Capital preservation is the priority. Stay objective and patient. The market doesn't care about our opinions, only the destination of the next dollar. So let the market profile and the MGI guide your setups. Don't start with a bias. Let the data guide you. Remember, if you're going to buy an account with TradingView, use code CB2724 and help us donate to St. Jude's Hospital. We are doing 20% this time. Also, don't forget you can get this education daily inside the Camelback Trading Room, including our daily webinar and our custom market profile for TradingView. Join us at CamelbackTrading.org. Be safe and trade well.